Riley Hunt turns that one to the corner, and the Mullets regroup at center ice. Into the zone is Minnesota. They're offside still, by the way. Shot down the ice, resulting in a whistle and an icing call to send the face-off back down to the other end. There's just under 5 minutes to go in the second period. Neither team has scored in the second. The teams traded power play goals in the first period and have had a number of power plays here in the second period. The Blades clanged one off the pipe a few minutes ago. And then just as we were kind of getting all our technology in order. Oh, and this one goes in on a shot from the left point. And the Mullets have broken the 1-1 tie. Minnesota goes ahead 2-1 at 15:21 of the second period. Mullets score. It's a 2-1 game now for Minnesota. Hosting this outdoor hockey game here at the Recreation Outdoor Center of the Rock here in St. Louis Park. Temperatures in the teens. The wind howling, below zero wind chills, and technology a little bit of a trick as well. A breakaway chance here for Peyton Inks. He evens the game up. Steele County answers, and it is now a 2-2 game. Peyton Inks on the quick breakaway. Time on the goal, 15:32. Making it 12 seconds. Wow, 12 seconds between goals. And previously it was about 9 minutes between goals in the first period where the teams traded power play goals. Here it's 12 seconds for the Blades to answer the Mullets. So Minnesota's been ahead 1-0 and 2-1. Steele County has answered each time. Outdoor hockey, in the conditions, in the wind, cold temps. No heaters on the bench, no heaters in the stands, no heaters in the broadcast area. A shot from the left. This comes out to the blue line. Ness for the Blades. Pass was a little bit off, intended for Kwok, who has Steele County's goal. Elliott starts a breakout there, gets that one ahead to Pettinen. And he'll toss it into the zone. Waters skates behind his own net with a forechecker all over him. 3.5 to go in the period. And Steele County just evened things up. Here's Valich. He scored the first goal of the game for the Mullets. He gets double, triple teamed, loses the puck. And now over to it. A shot comes from the point after Elliott had shot it out to the blue line. Freiburg trying to corral it. This is Vale. That wrists off of Valich. Fowler cleared it out to center ice. And getting control of it there is Smolik. Smolik centers it. Blades had the player in the slot back checked pretty well. Didn't allow him to get a stick on the puck. 2-2 tie with 2:45 to go in the second. Oh, looking for Fowler down low. That would have been quite the opportunity. I think it was Taylor that was getting him the pass. And now it's Freiburg from behind his net. Punched out through center ice. Tossed into the zone by Niemela. You can kind of see the wind whipping the snow as there's snow in the air, whipping the snow toward the ice surface. 3-on-2. Here come the Mullets. Drop pass, and then the backhand try sails away from Taylor. Trying to put that out front. Winkler intercepts it for the Blades. 2 minutes to go in the period. And Arturas Lornavaikas weaves his way into the zone. Poke checked away from him by Rager, and then carried into the offensive end by Fowler, and he just gets away from a check from Lornavaikas. Up to the line, and a little flick to the corner by Perkins. 90 seconds to go, second period, 2-2 here at the outdoor or the Recreation Outdoor Center in St. Louis Park. Right behind his net is Hadfield. Tyler Hadfield, a short outlet pass. Good forechecking by the Mullets. Now Anderson, his pass down low, broken up. Spun around with Sayers. Blades get it out of the zone. Good job by Dickinson to prevent the Blades from getting maybe a breakaway out of it. Steele County walks in the zone. Shifley turns back around, sets it up for Sayers. A shot blocked. And on net, save made by Farr. Trying for a redirection was Tomacek. He's the one who had the shot. That one gets through, and Farr steers that aside, gets the pad on it. And Farr sprawls after this one, dives to the puck. We're going to get penalties here after the whistle. Almost like the official is shrugging his shoulders like, why'd you do it? But who did they get on the extra hit? And it looks to be Dickinson that's going in for a cross-check with 36 seconds to go in the second period. Even though we've been battling through some technical things, when the period ends, we're going to go back in and warm up because we've been out here helping the people who knew what they were doing a little bit. Hadfield feeds it over. This is a power play for the Blades. A breakout, and Valich 2-on-1 the other way with Anderson. Feeds it over to Anderson. Still gets it on net. No penalty as the Blades had a player coming back that was certainly getting in his way. 15 seconds in the period. And a whistle. Oh, I think maybe the net was off. That might have been the whistle right there. Minnesota Mullets sitting at 19-10-1 on the season. Steele County Blades at 13-17-1. Blades in 7th place in the division. Mullets are in 4th. They're in a home playoff seed for the moment, but pretty tightly contested, of course. They've got about a 6-point lead on the 5th place Dells Ducks. Down to the final seconds of period number 2, and period number 2 comes to an end. So after one period, it was 1-1. In that first period, it was the Mullets scoring at 10:44. It was a power play goal on a rebound by Max Young. Valich had a nice shot to set that up. Another assist on that one came from Gentry. Kwok, in the closing minute of the first period, tied the game at 1-1 on a power play goal, unassisted. The Mullets scored here at 15:21 of the second period, and then the breakaway by Inks a few seconds later, literally a few seconds later, pulled the Blades even at 2-2. And that's where we are, 2-2, as we hit second intermission. So hang on. Hopefully all the technology will keep us going for the balance of the game, and we've still got the winning goal to come. It's a 2-2 game here in St. Louis Park, and stay tuned. Keep it here. Check back in a few minutes after you look at those NFL games for a little bit, or the NFL game. And we'll be back with the third period from The Rock in St. Louis Park. Starting to see some activity once again back on the ice after resurfacing. Coaches are out. Some of the officials are out. Players are queued up. And we'll head out in a 2-2 game momentarily to start the third period. Two. Period 3 just ahead. Just to let you know how this game has unfolded. With the Mullets scoring first. Young on the goal from Volich and Gentry. Then Kwok for the Blades, late first period, each of those goals on the power play. Second period, it was Anderson from Dickinson and Munson for the Mullets at 15:21. And then the Blades answered 12 seconds later, Inks, an unassisted goal, 2-2 after 2. All sorts of penalties in that period. And I just realized I'm jabbing myself in the head with my pencil. Got a hat on. Got more gloves than I know what to do with. And a pencil jabbing me in the head. In that second period, in the first period, there were a lot of penalties too. Delata for the Blades. Hadfield for the Blades. Rager for the Mullets. Inks for the Blades. And Niemela for the Mullets. Coincidentals on those final two. And then in that second period, everything is 2 minutes. Thomas for the Mullets, Inks for the Blades, Young for the Mullets, Perkins and Winkler, Mullets and Blades respectively. That was coincidentals at 10:16. You had Gentry for the Mullets, and then Dickinson at 19:24. And that's really the only penalty that means anything right now because he remains in the box. And the Blades have a minute 24 to go on a power play in a game that's all tied at 2-2. Mullets have had a 1-0 and 2-1 lead. Blades have not led at all in this game to this point. Blades beat the Mullets in Hockey Day, Minnesota a couple of years ago in Mankato. Blades beat the Mullets down at MSU Mankato, Minnesota State University. That one was true. Not that this isn't outdoors. This is outdoors. We're freezing. The wind is blowing. But the game in Mankato did not have a roof above to protect from snow. And amazingly enough, we've had some light snow falling at times this afternoon. The roof is doing no good because the wind is howling and blowing a little bit of the snow kind of into the seating area, maybe onto the ice. It's not snowing hard, but there's a little bit of snow in the air occasionally. Blades on the power play to start period number 3. We are underway from the Recreation Outdoor Center, St. Louis Park. Outdoor hockey continuing on here in the USPHL. Steele County Blades up about a minute 10 with the man advantage. Losing the handle on the puck was Hadfield as he was, for a moment, looking like he was going to toss it to a trailer. Inks gets back to it. Inks had that breakaway goal that tied things up. There's Lorna Vicus for the Blades as Steele County gets their power play unit ready to roll. They still have 45 seconds with the man advantage. Into the zone, ahead of Waters, however, and flung down the ice. And penalty killers change. That was Elliott who cleared it down the ice. Now he takes a seat on that toasty bench. And that time, Nelson gets to it to knock it back into the Blade zone under 25 seconds on the power play. In on net. Oh, that crossed him up a bit. But Farr got his stick out there to clear that aside. Preston Farr from Phoenix, Arizona.
No video. Now we're back. Hey, the video's back. You know, the equipment doesn't like it when it's this cold either. So even strength hockey now. Dickinson came back onto the ice. That was I don't know. Yeah, so one of those connections maybe is just a little loose. When things get cold, things contract. So I don't know if some of the connections just aren't staying as crisp in the cold weather. Temperature down to about 12 degrees, 5 or 10 below wind chill. Wow, that was a pass threaded through. Rouser deflects it deep into the zone. It is even strength hockey, early third period, 17 and a half still to go. 2-2 game. Keeping it in the zone, right onto the tape of Young. 2-on-1, Young with Taylor. Taylor tips it wide. And then Young trying to sneak back around the far post. Blades break it the other way. And the shot, far the save and hangs on, and then we get a little bit of an extra shove afterward that dumps Lornavikas on the ice, but there'll be nothing that comes out of that except an offensive zone face-off for the Steele County Blades. Steele County Blades 13-17-1. They're coming off that win a couple of nights ago. The Blades are 7-5 in their last 12 games. The Mullets are 7-4 in their last 11. The Mullets have had a wild start to 2025. This is already the 7th game of 2025 for the Mullets. And keep in mind, today's date, oh, that was a funny hop. Today's date is, the 12th of the month? And this is the 7th game of 2025 for Minnesota. Pass, left side, Hadfield walks in, shoots, and that flies through. Stiles with a drive through a screen, held on to by Farr. January 3rd, a 3-2 win over Hudson. January 4th, a 5-2 loss to the Blue Ox. The next day, a 3-1 loss to Isanti. That was at Mariucci last weekend. This week, on Tuesday, a 6-3 win over Hudson. Then a 3-0 loss to the Northwest Express. And then 2 days ago, as the Blades try and stuff it in from scramble in front. No goal. And we'll still have to sort things out and get everybody onto their feet again. And then 2 days ago, a 4-1 win over the Blue Ox. So a 3-3 record specifically in 2025, but that's amazing to have that many games already since the ball dropped. And the Blades, this is the 4th game of the new year. They had a 9-1 loss and 7-0 loss to Wisconsin Rapids, who's tied with the Squatch for the lead in the division. And then the Blades won 2 days ago over Hudson. 3.5 minutes into the period. And Young on the left side, put it out front. He's looking for Taylor right there. To the point, Gentry, and then it's kicked out. Inks kicks it out of the zone. Deep into the Mullets end. It'll be out to center ice. Long pass intercepted by Waters. Waters gets it into the zone. Elliott is back there to clear it around. Blades clog things up on the half board. Now it's out to center ice. Turning, wheeling, shooting wide, Lornavikas. Up to the blue line, and now a breakaway pass in on his own. There's a chance, and the tip and the save is made. Opportunity for Nelson, but a big save by Hunt. James Hunt makes the stop to keep it a 2-2 game. Shot to the Blades blue line. Now right there for a chance, a shot, and a save at the other end by Farr. Up and down the ice we go. Rager centers it. Stolen. Valic gets another chance. Misses the upper right corner. Young keeps it in the zone. Gets hammered down. Back to his feet. Winkler lost the handle on it. Dives after it. Niemela trying to keep it in the zone. It goes the other way. Here's Sayers to lead the charge for the Blades. Sayers gets his own second chance after it bounced off a back checker. Flurry to the side of the net. Farr will reach over and cover up on the puck. Sure, I've got this nice heater, but it doesn't work more often than it does work, and I don't know why. A heater trying to keep my toes warm a little bit here. We're obviously standing outside, as you can tell from our vantage point. Along with all the fans, along with all the players, this is truly outdoor hockey. Steele County in the dark. Black uniforms. Oh, there's a bump from behind. This is going to be a power play. Sayers' pass is deflected in on Farr. Steele County is going to go on a power play. Time of the penalty here is 6:01. 6:01 of the period. Into the box goes Perkins. And for Steele County, this is power play number 6. They're 1 for 5 in the game. I think roughing was just indicated. The Mullets are 1 for 3 on the power play. Steele County power play. Each team 1 power play goal. The Blades on the season are 21% on the power play. The Mullets, 87% on the kill. Kwok, who has a power play goal. Oh, this is going to be playing it with a high stick. Mullets would have been just as well advised to stand there and do nothing. But they played the puck. Now Hunt plays the puck behind his net, pulls it over toward Kwok. For a check to lead the charge there was Valich. Got Anderson down there as well. A couple of dangerous players should they come up with an errant puck. Little behind Waters, tips it off his skate into the zone. One-timer. Stop is made in front. Come back out to or is it Sayers who wound up with that one? Here's Lorna Vikis. Fought off by Farr. Waters is in the corner. Cleared around, and it slips out to Lorna Vikis at the point. Centers that one for Hadfield. A pass to the slot. And down the ice, Cade Anderson fires it down the ice for the Mullets. 7.5 minutes into the third period. We're tied at 2. Mullets are 2-1 against the Blades so far this season. 2 more games to come. Indoors in Owatonna later this season. Steele County Fairgrounds. It's a flurry in front. Farr covers up. Down to 14 seconds with the extra skater for Steele County. Back indoors to the Augsburg University rink on Thursday for the Mullets. They'll host Hudson. Next Friday they go to the Squatch. Steele County Blades don't play again until January 24th. When they host the Blue Ox at Four Seasons Center in Owatonna. So Farr went over to the bench. Is there an equipment issue? Farr puts a helmet on. I don't know if that's a backup helmet or if that was a change. And he makes his way back into the goal. 14 seconds to go in the power play for Steele County. Flung around the corner. This one's coming down the ice. Fowler is after it. Rouser gets there first. And penalty time is over. 5-on-5 hockey in a 2-2 game. Freshly on the ice and with a shot. Save, rebound, knocked out of the air and trickles wide. Young knocked that rebound out of the air. And Steele County threading that pass. Fowler on the intercept. Blue line to blue line pass. That got in front of Taylor and results in a frozen puck and a face-off in the Blades' defensive zone. 11:30 to go in regulation of a 2-2 game. We could get bonus hockey today as well. Young takes the draw right now against Scheifele. Blades throw it along the back wall. Getting pinned to the wall was Grant. Steel County gets it out. Hadfield takes it in. This is Logan Hadfield. Little toss to center ice. None of his buddies are there. No icing, no icing. I'd say we eliminate icing for the rest of the game just to keep this clock moving. Delata punches it along the wall. Grant gets wiped out. Some big hits going on there. Oh, and then another player gets tripped up. Action continues. And into the zone with a shot. Farr the save, and then Farr covers up. Oh boy, and there's some more activity going on after the whistle. Extracurriculars in the corner. And there's still a wrestling match going on in the corner. Wow, all the way to the takedown. And still, they have not quite separated those two players out. Well, if it warms them up, then maybe duking it out isn't such a bad plan. See what we've got coming up here in the way of any infractions. Doors are opening for both sides. So Scheifele is going in for the Blades. Cross checks probably. So time on these penalties is 9:10. One player went in for each side, I believe. I'm sorry? So they'll get this all set. Seems to be one player for each side. Should be pretty quick administration of the penalties. But maybe there's something extra going on here. Sayers is also going into the box. So now two Blades. This all happening at 9:10. Hadfield, captain for the Steel County Blades, arguing something in his team's favor. So it delays the resumption of play as well as things are discussed. So there's time on the board right now on Scheifele for the Blades, on Taylor for the Mullets. Penalty time, 2 minutes on each, and then 2 minutes on Sayers as well. This results in a Mullet power play with two Blades in the penalty box. Coach Adamick discussing with the referee the call. And the rest of us waiting for play to resume. The players, I don't know if the players are dealing with the wind as much as some of the fans are. In talking with one of the team personnel that walked up while we were battling our technical problems, she said, "Oh, it's windy up here." Yeah, it is. It'll be an offensive zone faceoff for the Mullets when we get around to this. So offensive zone faceoff. Young set to take the draw. And it comes back to Valic. Taps it over to Elliott. Back to Valic. Center to, toward Cade Anderson. Up to the line. Dump back into the corner. Anderson along the goal line. Power play with a blast, a redirect, and a save, and held onto by Hunt. And then we get more extracurriculars after the whistle. I don't think that this has developed to the point of bringing another penalty. I don't think. Stiles skates away from it. Young is slow to get back to his feet. Still have 10.5 to go in regulation. 2-2 game, minute 38 power play time. And it's a 5-on-4 power play. So they took a couple of the penalties off the board. They're still in the penalty box, but the time is only ticking down visibly on the penalty to Sayers. Otherwise, it was coincidentals that don't affect the players on the ice. Oh, here's Kwok. Oh, boy, we got a penalty coming up. So the goalie Farr was out of his net. Kwok runs into him, and I think it's going to be interference by the goalie. Not interference, not goalie interference, but rather interference by the goalie. And the Mullets are going to have a guy go into the penalty box to sit for Farr. So interference by the goaltender. 9:47 time here. And serving the penalty, one of the players from the bench will serve the penalty. As the goalie interfered with the Blade skater. Here's a shot. Far save. Rebound save again. Coming up big. Preston Farr to the other end. Oh, penalty coming up on the Blades. Young has, he gets cross-checked here. Young has taken a beating in today's game. So we're going to have 10:02. Just past the just past the halfway point of the third period. Freiburg goes into the box. Cross-check was the call. So now, gosh, we went to even strength. Now we go back to a power play for the Mullets, which is their 5th power play. This is a 4-on-3 for a full minute. Power play for the Mullets coming through center ice. Over to Elliott. Elliott to Valic. The 2-play catch. Valic. 4-on-3. Shot right in front. Young. Valic. And that is deflected. A blocked shot. Blocked shot by Peyton Inks. Want to take that for a minute? You can borrow that for a minute if you want, as long as it keeps working. Yep, slide it over there. Sharing our heater. Valic. Elliott one-timer. Getting his blocker out on that. Hunt. Blades clear at the length of the ice here at the Recreation Outdoor Center. Open air facility. Cars driving by on city streets behind us. 9 minutes to go in regulation. This is still a power play for the Mullets. Elliott sneaks around Hadfield in around the back of the net. Anderson is there. Young out to Valic. Blades are back to one-man short, so it's 4-on-4. Shot wide. Chopped around behind the net. So this is 4-on-4 hockey. There's about 15 seconds left on the penalty on the Mullets. So they're going to get a power play here, a very short one, in just a couple of seconds. 4-on-4 hockey. We're down to 8:10 to go in regulation. Break out to Waters. Waters is in. Centered, broken up there by, I think, by Gentry. So technically it was a power play for the Mullets for a few seconds there, but nothing really materialized, obviously. And now it's 5-on-5 hockey. A steal at center ice by the Blades' Logan Hadfield, and now Farr with the long breakout. That maybe was looking to find Fowler on a long pass. Blades punched it into their zone. Now the Mullets work it out through center ice, looking for Fowler. Out in front of him, no icing. Hadfield drops it off. In there forechecking is Piner. Blades put it through the corner. We're down to 7:15 in regulation. Winkler skates up ice. Winkler tries to step around that final back checker. Passed it out front. Here's a shot, Farr the save. And we have a player slow to get up. It looks to be Gentry, and I want to say that now blows are exchanged well after the whistle. I want to say I saw the indication of a cross-check being called. That's kind of been the penalty of the day today has been cross-check. So heading into the penalty box is Piner, and he is none too pleased about that. So Piner is called on the penalty at 12:58. Steele County will have power play number 7, I think it is. Shot from the point, now cleared around. And a 2-on-1 almost here. Anderson in shorthanded. Anderson tries to center it. Great job coming back on the play by Tyler Hadfield to break it up. Hadfield tosses it back. Anderson picks it out of the air. Steele County gets it going forward here. Power play for the Blades. Shot saved. Denying Lorna Vicus. Preston Farr with the save. 6:30 now remaining in the third. Looks like a minute and a half on the power play yet. Along his back wall, Elliott. Arturas Lernavikis steps into the half wall. The puck slips out to center ice. Austin Kwok back into his own zone. And Lernavikis. Nelson gets in his way to slow down the Steele County move up ice. Minute on the power play, 6 minutes in regulation. 2-2 tie. Kwok skates in, over to Inks. Peyton Inks shot high. Nelson gets it to the blue line and out. 45 on the power play. Peyton Inks has it, his pocket picked, and then Young gets upended by Lernavikis, who spins himself to the ice surface. Young still attacking, steals it away from Rouser. Rouser got it back. And Young gets it back. Young trying to put it to the front of the net. Stiles knocked it down. Pass comes out to for a shot opportunity for Gentry. Pad save by James Hunt. Stiles rips a pass to the left. Blades hold it in the zone. Good job that time by Tomacek. Couple of times keeping the puck from slipping out of the offensive zone. Just 5 seconds to go in the power play time. And 5 minutes in this third period. Bouncing puck to the Blades line. Yergi chops it down the ice. 5-on-5 hockey, under 5 minutes to go in a 2-2 game. Mullets come rink wide to Gentry. Gentry backhands through neutral ice. Anderson, Freiberg ties up with him. Vale on the puck. John Vale of the hat trick 2 nights ago against Hudson. His first hat trick. One time down the ice by Munson. He has an assist in this afternoon's game. Anderson, pass out front, goes by his man. And getting to the point, Rager to keep it in. Freiberg bumps in the corner here with the forechecker, Munson. Nelson over to the puck, feeds the point. Shot on the way, knocked down in front. Blades player Jurgi blocked that, it appeared. And then Jurgi gets over here on the puck. Back into the Blades zone, Scheifele. Draws it over to Logan Hadfield. Hadfield shoots that in. Farr will play it through the corner. 3.5 in regulation. Up and down the ice we go. Anderson trying to feed it across. That was intercepted and then cleared out to center ice. Blades changing on the fly. Coming in. Shot blocked. Shot was taken by Rager. Back into his own zone is Taylor. Right in front of the score table with 3 minutes to go in regulation, tied at 2 apiece. Each team scored 1 in the first. Each team scored 1 in the second. Even strength goals in the second, 12 seconds apart. And each team had a power play goal in the first. 2-2 tied. That's around to Delata. Draws it forward, shot wide of the net from Perkins. Oh boy, the net was open for a moment there. Young around the back of the net. Young feeds it out to the blue line. Perkins back to Young. Over here for a shot. A lot of congestion in the outside of the crease area there. Dickinson puts that off the upper body of Hunt. 2:15 in regulation. Now Young right behind his net. Gets pinned back there by Hervey. Right behind the offensive net for Young. Blades get a chance to relieve the pressure. Peyton Inks skates out. Inks is in with Levi Ness. Ness's shot is blocked out of play. 1:53 in the third remaining. And a 2-2 tie on the board here in St. Louis Park. Recreation Outdoor Center. They've got indoor ice here as well. Just not being used for hockey today. Tapped out to Stiles with a shot. Farr has the puck. .146 to go. Taking this face off outside the blue line. Winkler, Blades get it. Hadfield flings it down ice. Back for it, Elliott. To the blue line, Hadfield. Oh, almost lost it out of the zone. Fowler drew that one out to Smolik. Leaves the puck for Piner, backhand save, rebound, and then trying to push it back out front, Piner. Oh, flurry to the side of the net, then Fowler whips it on net, Hunt the save. Out front again. Minute 10 to go. There's a drive, it deflects. A drive from the blue line deflected off some bodies. A lot of bodies in front, little drop pass. Looking back door, Piner bobbled it just a bit. Then it was Gentry from the point. We're down under a minute in regulation. And the Minnesota Mullets are just peppering. Bit of a shooting gallery. There's a blast that's just offline. And that shot by Piner sailed through. Here's Elliott. Down to 35 seconds in the period. Piner put it out front. One-handed by Hadfield. Tries to chop it away. Fowler keeps it in. Piner was calling for it in the high slot. Now he's heading off on a change with 20 seconds to go. Looking over his left shoulder is James Hunt. Comes out to Elliott. He comes rink wide with it. And meanwhile, while the play was going on, they blow the whistle. The net was dislodged. 12 seconds remaining in the third period. We're staring at overtime. Staring at the possibility of overtime here at the Recreation Outdoor Center. Fed over to the right. There's a shot, a redirect, a save by Hunt. Again, the net is off of its moorings. Doesn't seem to take a lot for these nets to pop up, pop off. 5.9 seconds now to go. It's been an awful long time in the Blades defensive zone. Steele County allowed to make a last-second change. And that's going to be the centerman. Anderson seemed to win the face-off. Blades clear it out. 2 seconds, 1 second. We're going to overtime. Going to overtime here in this one. Okay, I'll take that back for a minute here. And yeah, go in and warm up for a second. We'll get Andrew in the camera in to warm up a little bit. They'll take a couple of minutes here in between regulation and overtime. They put up 2 minutes of time at 2 minutes of reset time. And then we'll play the 5-minute overtime session. Mullets scored first back at 10:44 of the first period. Young on the power play. Kwok evened it up in the closing minute of the first period on a power play goal for the Blades. Mullets went back ahead in the second period. Anderson and then Inks a few seconds later tied the game at 2-2. Unofficially, I've got the Blades 1 for 7 on the power play and 1 for 6 for the Mullets. There have been a lot of penalties in this game. And we'll switch sides here on the overtime. James Hunt has gone the distance. I don't know if I can, with my cold fingers, activate my phone to see what they go for shots on net in that third period. Let's see what we got here for shots on net. I'm trying. My phone doesn't like the cold any more than my toes or fingers like the cold. Where are we at here? Shots on net. Third period shots on goal, 14 for the Blades for a 3-period total of 43, and 10 for the Mullets, although a lot of them seem to come late, for a 3-period total of 31. So 43-31 shots on net. We are going 3-on-3 hockey. 3-on-3 hockey as we start in just, they got to get the clock ready. 5 minutes on the clock, 3-on-3. Certainly the next goal wins it, unless we should go to a shootout. Larnavikis up for Waters. Blades now going right to left in front of us. Into the zone is Larnavikis. Gets bumped off by Valic there at the end. Puck picked up by Valic, and he'll go forward. Valic feeds it over to Nelson. Nelson back to Valic. In, and what a save! Coming back across. And then a shot from a tough angle sails through. One player changes for the Mullets. Valic toeing the blue line. He'll just walk out of the zone with the puck. So he's got Young on with him. Anderson switches. Young into the zone, looking like a 2-on-1. Right there in front. Oh, what a save by Hunt. All by himself in front was Gentry for the opportunity, and Hunt made the save. 4 minutes to go in overtime. Gentry taps it over to Young. Max Young walks into the zone. Young cuts to the net, goes to the backhand, and somehow Hunt made that save. Blades come through center ice. And Inks gets in and gets wiped out. And Inks is slow to get back to his feet. That means it's 3-on-2 at the other end. Fed across. There's a shot that misses the mark by Young. Blades to Tyler Hadfield. 2-on-1 with Rouser. Pass. Rouser. No goal. No goal. As Farr somehow came across the goal mouth there. Gotta love 3-on-3. And we're at 3 minutes to go in overtime. Turned over to Tomacek, but then he couldn't skate in with it. Young gets knocked down before he can pull the trigger, although the Mullets keep it. Niemela. He'll wrap it around. And the Blades work it to the blue line. Niemela keeps it in the zone. Niemela puts on a shot. The save, a bouncing puck goes wide. 2.5 to go in overtime. Tied at 2. Fed over by Perkins. Back to Perkins. And then a bouncing puck, and Hunt gets to it. And then from a tough angle, it's shot through the crease. Scheifele comes to center ice anyway. Blades get a new skater on. Down to 2:05 in overtime. Coming through center into the zone, Larnavikas. Larnavikas around the back of the net. Wraparound try, and he had a man backdoor as well. Freiberg with the puck. He goes to Larnavikas, but caught him on his backhand. Not in shooting position. Out front for a blast on net. Save made by Farr as he keeps Vale from lighting the lamp, as Vale has been doing lately. 1:44 in overtime. It's a 2-2 contest. Can you hear that wind whipping through the microphone? They're getting that net all figured out for Farr. And a face-off, right offensive circle for the Blades. And the Mullets win the face-off. Clock at 1:40 in overtime. Elliott gets that one to Gentry. He passes to Valic. Valic comes in. He shoots wide. Now this is Elliott to Valic once again. Valic, there's a one-timer, and somehow, I don't know, looked like a good target. Gentry took a blast. Now center ice, Valic. We're at 1:10 in overtime. Gentry into the zone. Got to make a decision here. Taps it over to the point. Lost it out of the zone. With 1 minute to go in the period. Gentry comes across top of the circle. Gentry leaves for Elliott. Elliott walks in. He shoots. Hunt the save. Both teams will put out 3 new players now with 43 seconds to go in overtime. And then we'd be looking at the 3-round shootout following that. .43 seconds to go in this overtime period. Waters for the Blades. Larnavikas. Larnavikas with Vale. Oh, and Art turns at center. Goes back into his own zone. Nelson tracking him. Vale with 20 seconds. Vale in. Shot. Save. Farr holds on. So now we'll get a face-off in the Mullets defensive zone. Lights, of course, on now here at St. Louis Park. Didn't have lights on. I don't think the lights were on to begin with. It wasn't quite as noticeable anyway. And off the face-off, this is going out to center ice. Waters skates back into his own zone. 5 seconds. Waters shot, sails just over. And that is going to bring this game now to the shootout stage. So we go through overtime. Neither team scored in the third. Neither team scored in overtime. And now we're switching sides for the shootout, as the Mullets goalie has skated down to the other end of the rink. Two overtime tie, but now in the shootout stage. Get this shootout going here shortly. Looks like the Blades are going first, and they're sending out Delata. So Steele County. Delata on the season, 3 goals, 10 assists for Delata out of Kansas City, Kansas. First shootout attempt, here it comes. Right-handed shooter just taking his time, out for a Sunday stroll, backhand goal. Blades lead the shootout 1-0. And it looks to be number 8, Gentry, out of Phoenix, Arizona. No, my mistake. Who do we got? No, it is Gentry. Yeah, it's Gentry. Doesn't have a goal on the season, but called on here. Left-handed shooter, and he likewise weaving his way deliberately up the ice. Hunt the save. And with 1 round complete, the Blades lead 1-0. Out there for Steele County is Peyton Inks. Peyton Inks, 12 goals on the season out of Topeka, Kansas. Inks into the zone, and Inks hits the pipe. No goal. Coach Walby for the Mullets counters now with Valich. Valich, 25 goals on the season. Had an assist on 1 today. And Valich, a little burst of speed, backhand save. Hunt stops it. And now for the win. I believe the Blades are sending out Lorna Vikis. Out of Minsk, Belarus, here he comes. Oh, wow. As long as that puck keeps moving forward, I guess. Took a nap. He's taking a nap along the way, and Lorna Vikis shoots and scores! And the Blades get the win. In a thriller here at the Recreation Center in St. Louis Park. A wild one indeed, a cold one most certainly as well. And the Steele County Blades, for the second time in history, have won an outdoor hockey game over the Minnesota Mullets. The Blades win it by a final of 3-2. That'll be the final, 3-2. Lorna Vikis successful on the shootout, on the shootout goal and penalty, series penalty shots, obviously, and then no need for third opportunity for the Mullets because the Blades lead 2-0 in the shootout. Well, that will wrap it up from here as the players all gather for maybe a team photo of sorts. Andrew on the camera. My name's Roy on the microphone here today. Apologies for some of the early technical issues, but hey, we got her figured out to give you an opportunity to catch today's game as best we could. Certainly the most exciting parts of it came in the later stages. And with that, we'll say good afternoon from the Recreation Outdoor Center in St. Louis Park after a Steele County Blades 3-2 shootout victory. Good evening.